Jiu-Jitsu is on fire! Rivalries returning, controversies that feel like soap opera, young talents bulldozing veterans, and UFC BJJ promising to dominate 2025 with 14 events already confirmed. Get ready because this video will tie it all together in one recap. Few rivalries in Jiu-Jitsu today carry as much weight as Gustavo Batista and Jansen Nenego Gomez. They faced each other 5 times. Batista, the respected veteran and symbol of consistency, has 3 wins. Nenego holds 2, including the dramatic 2025 World Final decided by an advantage after the Cantagallo hero dominated the fight. That history alone makes the rivalry exciting, but UFC BJJ took it to another level. This time, the fight is set for no gi. No grips, no lapels. The game changes completely. Whoever scrambles faster, transitions cleaner, and stays calm in the details takes the edge. Batista comes in as the king defending his crown. Nenego steps in as the prince who already proved he can topple the throne. This is exactly the kind of story UFC wants to tell. Experience versus youth. Tradition versus renewal. Hierarchy versus boldness. And that's why this matchup moves the fans so much. Rivalries like this fuel the sport. They create fans, split opinions, light up social media, and make us want to watch every second. In the end, the result is almost secondary. What matters is a feeling that we're watching something bigger than just a match. A clash of generations shaping the future of professional jiu-jitsu. So what's your pick? Will Batista's reign hold, or will Nenego finally be crowned? The UFC isn't playing around. They confirmed 14 grappling events just in 2025. That's almost a full soccer season, but on the mats. And UFC BJJ 3 is stacked. Musumeci defending his title, Carlos Henrique against Mateus Gabriel, Cassia Mora returns, Andy Varela on the card, Daniel Sattler, Andy Murasaki, Samuel Nagai versus Kennedy Maciel, and of course, Batista versus Nenego. Pure entertainment. UFC is applying the formula. Consistency, narrative, and show. Will it work? I'm liking it. What about you? Gabi Garcia knows both sides of the game. She built her legacy in the gi, dominated ADCC with 4 titles, and always trained hybrid, proving you can rule in both worlds. And without authority, she dropped a bomb. Gabi said, "If you don't train at least 1 day a week in the gi, you will not be a champion in no gi." For Gabi, the gi is not just tradition. It's a tool. It's where you learn to place your grips, adjust weight, control timing, invisible details that turn into weapons once the gi comes off. She criticized part of the new generation, too focused on leg locks and forgetting the basics, passing guard, controlling mount, taking the back. And here's the most provocative point. For Gabi, control positions like mount and back are more beautiful and more real than battles in 50-50, where 2 athletes get stuck hunting the same leg. The gi, in her view, teaches solidity, forward pressure, and true dominance. The statement divided opinions. Some praised it as a lesson from someone who conquered everything. Others said it was nostalgia for a past era. But one thing is clear. Coming from a champion who rolled both gi and no gi, her words can't be ignored. The question remains, can you really be king or queen of no gi without ever learning the lessons of the gi? Before you comment, hit the like button and subscribe. CJI 2 was supposed to be historic, but the fight between Gable Steveson and Craig Jones never happened. And the reason turned into drama. Steveson, Olympic wrestling champion, made a heavy accusation. He said Craig asked him to throw the match, to let him win. Gable claimed, "He looked me in the eye and said, 'I don't want to lose. Can you do this for me?' Soon after, he pulled out with a foot injury, turf toe. But he also hinted at strange contract clauses, leaving doubts about what was happening backstage. Craig, of course, did what he always does. He turned it into a show. He answered with irony. "So you accepted the job and then got hurt." Explain how that makes sense. He even threw in old controversies from Stevenson's past, adding fuel to the fire. The internet exploded. Some believed the Olympic champ, painting Craig as the villain. Others saw Craig as the same showman who can turn any chaos to his advantage. In the end, there was no fight, no result, but there was narrative. And in modern grappling, sometimes that's worth more than medals. So who do you believe? The Olympic icon or the master of controversy, Craig Jones? At EBI 25, the biggest surprise didn't come from the veterans. It came from a 19-year-old purple belt named Landon Elmore. He entered as the underdog and left as the champion, submitting every opponent on the way. First match, heel hook win. In the quarterfinals, he faced UFC star Bryce Mitchell and needed less than a minute to lock another heel hook. He advanced, reached the final against Chris Kokorian, and didn't flinch. Heel hook again, title secured, and history made. Elmore became the only non-black belt in history to win EBI with all submissions. Trained by Gordon Ryan and John Danaher, the kid showed maturity, aggression, and technique far beyond his age. It's no exaggeration to say he could be the face of the next generation. So here's the question. Are we just seeing the start of a promising career, or the birth of someone who might repeat Gordon Ryan's dominance at the next ADCCs? Max Jimenez has already built a lot on the mats. Black belt since 2016, world champion at brown belt, over 100 wins in gi and no-gi. Now he arrives at the UFC to prove his legacy also counts inside the octagon. His MMA record, 6 wins and 1 loss, all victories by submission or knockout. And it's not just his ground game. Jimenez has knockout power in his hands, sharp striking, and heavy ground and pound. Now, the test is global level opposition. Do you believe Max Jimenez has what it takes to become a real name in the UFC? If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, hit the like button, and tell me in the comments which story hit you the most. Batista versus Nenego, Gabi in the gi, or the kid who ran through Bryce Mitchell? Good training, good week, and see you in the next one.